It's been 2 weeks since we last visited the service dogs in training of Doggie Do Good, which means it's been 2 weeks since I've seen Kaya, which means we're going to look at her for a second. Man, she's the best. But today's not Kaya's big day, it's Damien's. Today is his final exam. If he passes, Damien will go to his forever family tomorrow. If he flunks the test, however, it could mean months before Damien is ready, or the family may need to find a different service dog. Good luck, buddy. This is what you puppy prepped for. For Damien's final exam, the trainers at Doggie Do Good have chosen a local mall. With slick floors, steep stairs, and distractions aplenty, only the truly ready pups can get through all of their drills without issue. Before going inside, it's time for some warm-up drills by the parking garage. Places you and I wouldn't think twice about are sometimes perfect places to test the pups. For instance, this grate. Unfamiliar surfaces like these can distract a dog, seemingly without explanation. Grates can also be the source of confusing smells and sounds, further throwing a dog off its game. First up, Luke. The 8-month-old Golden has been a model student so far. A simple steel grate won't bother. Oh. How about that? His tail wags, but Luke can't wait to get off the metal. You can see his hesitation as he continues to cross. The sound and moving surface confuses him. We may think it's a silly fear, but it's a good reminder that Luke is still a puppy. Karen makes the Golden pause on the grate and feeds him treats. Hopefully, this will get him to fear the grate a little less. After a few more back and forths, Luke gets more comfortable. This is good. At this stage, Luke just needs to show progress towards overcoming his fears, even for something as small as a grate. With Luke scared of the grate, it could mean his sister Kaya inherited a similar fear. Nope. The 8-month-old crosses the metal with grace and poise. Well done, Kaya. Way to show your brother what's what. Next, it's time for Luke and Kaya's half-sister, Remy, to cross the grate. The trainers are curious to see if she'll be brave like her sister or scared like her brother. And with that stutter step, it looks like Remy is the exact average of her siblings. Not as frightened as Luke, but definitely more cautious than Kaya. Still, she's more curious than scared, a good sign for the 8-month-old. With the Goldens done, it's Benelli's turn. Only 2 weeks ago, the 6-month-old completely shut down at the bus station. If she has a similar reaction to the grate, it could spell disaster for the lab's chances of staying in school. But Benelli handles the grate like a champion. She stands still and even keeps her tail wagging when Paul tries to distract her. The puppy's made huge strides in her courage the last 2 weeks. Exactly what the trainers needed from her. The other puppy with bravery issues is our man about town, Mr. Pip. Though he hesitates, the Yorkshire Terrier has little say in the matter. When a trainer can pick you up and move you wherever she sees fit, you're gonna have to face your demons. Mr. Pip is presented with a dilemma. Satisfy his unshakable craving for treats, or flee like a coward. Again, Karen makes his decision for him. Good enough, Mr. Pip. Your strengths lie elsewhere, and that's just fine. Finally, it's Damien's turn. Even with a pack in his mouth, this is more of a formality than a real test. Like a senior taking an introductory class that he forgot he needed. The yellow lab doesn't disappoint. Damien knows he has to deliver, and he does just that. His real test awaits him inside the mall. Noises. People. Food. Deals, deals, deals. The dogs need to overcome all these distractions and more inside the mall. The pups go into downstay at the food court. And while Luke naps, Benelli begins the mall obstacle course. The first challenge? The stairs. This mall has very slippery, very steep stairs. Already the floppiest puppy, Benelli immediately has issues. But with her tail wagging, she's a good sport. Benelli has to resist her natural urge to sprint up the stairs. A heel is a heel, even with uneven, slippery footing. That's it, Benelli. Almost there. Okay, good. Good girl. She's just so floppy. Now upstairs, Benelli practices her get it command. Even with the lights and sounds of the arcade, Benelli keeps checking in with her trainer. This shows great progress in Benelli's focus. As Benelli returns to the food court, it's Kaya's turn around the mall. I challenge you to find me a more perfect dog anywhere. It simply can't be done. Even amongst the charms of the arcade, our girl can't be fazed. Kaya is even comfortable lying down inside a video game. On her way back downstairs, Kaya is patient and attentive. Exactly what her trainers are looking for. As Luke drifts in and out of sleep, he wonders if it's his turn. Nope. Mr. Pip's up. Back to sleep. The stairs that Benelli struggled with are a piece of cake for the undeniable Mr. Pip. He scales them like a mountain climber summits a peak. In the arcade, Mr. Pip practices his comfort drills. He'll be going to a family with children, and if they call upon him amongst the lights and sounds of an amusement hall, he'll have to perform. Before leaving the arcade, Mr. Pip obliges a quick photo request in the comforts of the motor coach ride. Like any brave mountaineer who conquers a pinnacle, what goes up must come down. Imagine if stairs were as big as you are. Our brave Mr. Pip doesn't have to. He's step-sized, and he handles the challenge with aplomb. In the arcade, Luke works on some drills. But it appears some of the distractions might be a bit too much for the 8-month-old Golden. When trainer Karen puts the pup in a downstate to familiarize him with the stimuli, Luke rebels. Luke's future owners need him to be alright in a downstate anywhere. So if he can't become comfortable in this arcade, it could mean a big problem for his training progress. Luke breaks another downstay. Eventually, with Karen in constant eyesight, Luke is alright. After the confinement of the downstay, the Golden Retriever is more than happy to practice his pressure therapy. Luke returns to the food court. It's been an uncharacteristically shaky day for the Golden. Like people, service dogs have good days and bad. At the end of their training, the hope will be to have as few days like this as possible. One dog who's had some bad days lately is Remy. It appears, however, she's made great improvement the last few weeks. She's checking in with trainer Paul and doing well in her heel. Even in the arcade, the 8-month-old is attentive and focused, not at all like she was at the beach a few weeks ago. And like her half-sister Kaya, Remy is prepared to work inside of the video game console, giving Paul hugs amongst the frightening zombies. On the stairs, Remy shows patience that was totally absent a week ago. She's maturing, a wonderful sign for her schooling. Damien's been training years for this. If he passes, tomorrow morning he and trainer Paul will set off to his forever family. If he fails, it doesn't look good for Damien's continued enrollment. Damien's classmates wish him luck as he sets off. First challenge, the stairs. While the younger puppies could slip around, Damien's future owners will depend on him being steady whenever called upon. Tolerance for sliding is almost nil. Making it even more difficult, Paul applies periodic pressure to Damien's harness, ensuring the lab is ready to accept his owner's weight. Still, Damien is able to match Paul's pace perfectly, even when it gets awkward for the pup's footing. Step by step, Damien proves his patience and dependability on the stairs. The first part of his test is over, and so far, so good. But what's this? A pop quiz? In the middle of an exam? Paul's dropped his wallet, but Damien retrieves it with no problem. Now Damien will have to carry the trainer's pack. Though he did well with this earlier in the day, consistency is the key to graduation. And our guy is steady. Back at Downstay, the puppies wait nervously, rooting for their friend's success. It's all right, Mr. Pip. So far, Damien's doing great. A quick trip through the arcade was no problem for Damien, so it's on to the next challenge, stability. Paul gives Damien the command steady, then uses the dog to help him sit down. With his tail wagging, it's clear to see Damien's happy to work. Another great signal. Paul uses Damien to help stand just as a child runs past. Damien maintains his focus. The exact reaction he needs were the same to happen with his forever family. Paul makes a minor adjustment to Damien's position, but appears happy with the dog's performance. A second stability test is meant to see Damien's transition from a downstay, and he handles it flawlessly. Now, a new challenge just for Damien. Women's clothing. With pack in mouth, Damien has to show patience and focus amongst the new smells and sights. And it's no problem for the yellow lab. In a simple heel, Damien moves confidently and checks in with his handler, the model of a great service dog. He's in the home stretch, but there's one challenge left: going down the stairs. Providing stability while facing downstairs is the toughest thing Damien will be called upon to do. He has to show patience, poise, focus, and strength, all while resisting his natural urge to bolt down to even footing. The slow pace is grueling, but when trainer Paul sees Damien wait patiently on even the last step, it appears he's nailed it. Not even Paul can contain his excitement for the pup. While Damien turned in a virtuoso performance on his exam, the trainers still have to discuss if, after 2 years and a name change, he's finally ready to graduate. Back at Doggie Do Good, Damien's classmates wait to hear his fate. The tension is palpable. Then, they see him. He's done it! Presenting the newest graduate from Doggie Do Good, Damien, the 2-year-old yellow lab. Tomorrow, he and Paul will set off to meet the lab's forever family. Just as Damien was trained to help people, now his family will have to be trained in handling Damien. The process can take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks, but Paul will be there to help the whole time. It's been a long 2 years of training, and Damien is rightly excited. He takes a well-deserved victory lap as his classmates look on. Their schooling has just begun, but if they keep up the progress they've shown this last month, maintain focus, and stop eating so much grass, like the newest alum Damien, they too will soon graduate. Puppy prep.
Bye.